remember about, I promise
I
not,
might,
should be out of here pretty quick.
I might,
You usually the one who nips that.
I will,
Okay, it's Mark.
I'll hit myself.
Hey, Mark.
Then I gotta take care of it.
Okay, yeah, we're just getting our meeting underway,
Is that, Mark?
so,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, so I'll, let's, 1800, let's call this meeting to order. And we'll start, let's start with the pledge of allegiance. Is that okay?
Do you mind if we take time to do the Pledge of Allegiance, Mark?
Okay.
Thank you.
You can leave it.
Leave it up, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's it.
That's all right.
Okay, so, ready?
All right. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
You guys want to get a little closer so we can all
Okay,
hear?
So, Chuck, you mind if we do this phone call before we do the citizens' comments?
No, go ahead, I have one comment, that's all, but we can do it after.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is from Blue Star, Mark Roy,
Sure.
the consultant accountant.
Yeah,
So Mark, we, just so you know, we have Susan here, I'm here, Charlie, Denise Rancourt here, David Rancourt is here. Justin Stimpson, who is the third assessor, could not make it tonight. And Chuck Peabody, who is a member of the community, is also here.
Outstanding.
So, do you want to start, or would you like?
I'm just joining in case you guys had any questions about, the, status of, the cleanup for FY '24 and '25, and also FY '26, and then where you wanted, me to go for FY '26 going forward, seeing as, we're pretty much out of time, given the allotted amount, that the town had raised. The town had raised, appropriated $15,000 for my services, and we're just under that amount, or about $200 or $300 under that amount at this point.
So are we
Okay.
up to date as far as the financials go?
I caught up, everything up through September 30th, and got everything, organized. Susan and I talked about some additional, revisions that, she and I were gonna work through if, after, you guys wanted me to continue working. But I didn't wanna spend any additional time on it until, we figured out what we wanted to do, basically. But ultimately, yes, everything's organized and cleaned up.
So all the banking has been reconciled. Mark, he revised the chart of accounts, kind of consolidated it, and I just had, the revisions that he's referring to were minor. They're just like a couple things that, I think just because Mark hadn't had full understanding of what we have to, what our AP process is and whatnot, so, I think though that what we talked about was that we raised $10,000 for training, and I think at this point, it would be good, I'm gonna recommend that Denise and I take, some of that money, and hopefully Mark is willing and able to train us to do the reconciliation on our own, but I think going forward, we should have Mark as an overseer. And I don't know if he checks in quarterly or monthly, do you have a sense of that, Mark?
Yeah, the transactions are not, numerous or complicated, so I don't really think monthly would be necessary. But then I don't want to get to the point. I don't want to go like, come in quarterly and that's all messed up, So I would recommend quarterly, checking in after the end of December, and then checking in again
gotta find the money for that.
Yeah, do you,
Well,
can you
listen.
anticipate how many hours that might be, Mark? I mean, like you gave us a rough estimate as to what you thought the reconciliation and the cleanup of our finances would be, so I'm wondering if you have, I mean, is it gonna be 10 hours, is it gonna be 50 hours, what are your thoughts on that? But budgeting,
Look, if I train you and Denise to do the reconciliation, I can't imagine that that would take very long.
So Mark, the training would be under a different,
right,
different, ledger for, or account for,
The 10,000
that we
raised.
that we raised for training. But your services, it would be something that, it sounds like we've already burned up all that money for your services. So we'd have to find, I don't know if we have something else in our account or in our,
well, couldn't he?
What our options
couldn't-
are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but why couldn't he train us to, he
Do
could
the
train us
budget.
to do the
he
budgeting?
can, but in
Because
order
we
to
need to anyway,
But to
right?
check in, this is a whole different subject, is for
Yeah.
to check in the quarterly, the weekly, monthly, whatever, and to get ready for the next fiscal year, that's gotta come out of money that we raise or for the
Yes.
town. We've already burnt up what we already raised for his services. So we have to find that money, whether it's, we have it in the general, not the general fund, but
Plantation charges.
plantation charges, or
For
if we can
professional and.
professional, exactly, so we have to figure out where we're gonna get that, so maybe if Mark could give us an idea of what we're up against that's gonna finish you out for the rest, until our next annual, that we gotta come up with, it might be easier for us to try to drum up or find, if we can at all, I mean, cause
I
we,
think-
the people voted for,
Yes.
A
you
certain
know,
amount.
a certain amount, and, you know,
For the check-ins really shouldn't take long at all, maybe an hour or two each of those quarters. I mean, because, like I said, it's, unless something really goes wrong, like, you know, Denise and Susan really do something wrong, I can't imagine after it's been set, that,
right,
you know, maintaining it is really easy, right?
Right,
So, you know, and once I've trained them on, you know, doing the bank reconciliations, it's not hard, you know, it's not very difficult to keep that up, so I don't expect that to be very difficult.
right.
I expect it for me to just really be downloading the transactions, you know, to update on my end, the workbook that I have on my end, looking through it, you know, kind of looking at their reconciliations and just going, okay, yeah, everything looks to be okay, and if there's any sort of adjustments that need to be made, it really shouldn't take very long. So I would expect at most maybe 2, maybe 3 hours at the most on each quarter there. So you're looking at maybe $300 each quarter, maybe $450 for each of those quarters. When it comes to the budget stuff and advising on that, I don't know how often you guys meet or how long that process takes. What does that look for you guys normally?
last year, of course, we all were going into it sort of, you know, not very well,
We were green.
knowledgeable. Yeah,
Very green.
so I spent a huge amount of time, trying to collect the data for like what we spent last year, and we talked about this the other, day, Mark, that it's probably not that difficult, but because I didn't know where to go and how to do it, that it was difficult for me, and then I went to budgeting, and I think that Brenda gave me a worksheet or something, but mostly I just went into Trio and started entering stuff in budgeting, but I didn't know how to carry it through so that then it was officiated and actually was part of our budget. It was in Trio like as a, you know, an entry at the very
A raw
beginning.
product.
Yeah, but I don't think that I ever finalized it to make it, work with what we're actually spending. So that's something that we will definitely need training on.
So that would cover under the training part of it.
Yeah,
But,
I think the
for
budgetary
Mark's-
could be.
Mark's services, as we get there, after we get acclimated to what we're doing, that's what we need to have some sort of number from you, Mark.
Yeah.
And what would finish us out between now and June, of your services, maybe you could throw together a number and send it over. So we have something to look at and see what we have available in plantation services, for that matter.
And training, yeah.
The training, and maybe the separating the training can be different. I mean, we already have that money, we know we have that money put aside.
Right, and I think if Susan, Denise, and Mark are interacting, and they're working on reconciliations or corrections or doing all this kind of stuff, they're learning. I mean,
That's
this is a
true.
learning
I
process for
agree.
Denise and Susan, you know what I mean? So I think that for me, I feel pretty confident that, you know, that's not a misuse of public funds, I mean, that we're using them appropriately.
I agree, but
You
there's
know.
certain, the way it's gonna be documented or coded, it needs to be, at least make sure we have something in our budget that will cover it.
But we do for professional services, so that could be.
That's why if we have a number, we
Yes,
can
yeah.
apply
Look
it
at what
towards what we have, right.
What we budgeted last
Yes,
year
yes,
and see where
yeah.
we're at.
No, that
Because
sounds good, and
there's
I
also
think
some lawyer stuff coming up with the, whole God's country thing, so we gotta look at both things
that's right, we had 5,000 we raised for that, right?
for that,
We-
correct, yeah, so. But anyways, back to this, if Mark if you could give us, you know, some sort of idea of what it would take to get you for the professional services between now and June. And then the training is something separate, that we have already put 10,000 away for that training, so.
Okay,
Does that make sense to you, Mark?
yeah, I'll give you something.
Okay.
Perfect.
And then, as far as training goes, is that something that you would come up here for, or would we?
I usually provide training over Teams, just because
Okay.
it's more convenient, and then I can record it for you guys, and you can have it, so you can refer to it afterwards.
Okay, perfect.
I think that sounds good. Mark, before we let you go, do you wanna be involved at all in this banking conversation, or do you think that we can just make a decision here? Cause I'm hoping to make some sort of a decision here today, tonight
You
at
mean,
this
like here
meeting.
tonight at the assessor meeting?
Yeah, I just didn't know if you wanted to be part of it.
I feel you guys probably know what you wanna do, I mean, if
Okay,
you want my advice, it's, my advice is, if you're not getting, a very good interest rate and you're not getting very good service, then, you gotta go where you're gonna get, the best interest rate and the best service. And even when you're not getting the best service, you still gotta prioritize the best interest rate over everything else.
so what about because I think that there was I don't remember what the penalty was, I'd have to go back and look, but there was a penalty to close out that CD. Do you think that we should just leave that CD alone and just let it ride out its year and then change that over?
Yeah, the CD, the bus, what is it, the bus CD or the
Special ed maybe?
special ed CD, it's
Yeah.
32,000.
Yeah, I think that there was gonna be, it seemed like a fairly good chunk of money to close that out early.
Yeah, you might as well leave that, if you're switching to a different bank, but yes, you're gonna wanna leave the CD, alone until it matures, and
Okay.
then,
Well, we can discuss that, we can make that decision.
Okay,
or you could just leave it at that bank if it's getting a good interest rate, but I doubt it is.
no, it wasn't, but the penalty to get it out was what
Do you know how much the penalty was?
I can't remember, I should have had that ready for today's meeting, but,
Because, I mean, how long is the CD, what's the maturity?
we just renewed it about 2-3 months ago, right, Denise? Like 3 months ago, it seems like it was like $5,000 to close it out early, but I might be wrong, I'm probably
Hang on
wrong.
a second, let me, if that's the case, that's another example of that's ridiculous.
Usually,
That's obviously a ridiculous penalty for a 3-month-old
I
CD.
know.
Normally, you just forego the interest that has accrued between the time that you deposited it, and you don't get a punitive,
In this case, it is.
Okay, it was only $553, my bad.
And that's probably what we've made in interest.
So,
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
you haven't made that much. You've only made $170 in interest so far this year on that CD.
okay, so $553, I guess is, anyway.
Right. So, and when is it, how long did you renew it for?
It doesn't say here, but I remember that it was only like 3 months ago, right? It was right
It
around the
wasn't that
beginning
far,
of the,
yeah. So I don't
It
know if we
doesn't
did
matter
it.
when it was, it matters how
7
long it
months.
was for, I think
Yeah.
probably
But
3 years.
I think regardless, we just need to, whatever we decide to do, we just need to leave that until it matures. I think trying to take it out is,
well, except for that they're
Premature.
offering to give us a lot
Not
more
necessarily. I
interest.
mean, if the interest rate that you're gonna get at Camden is significantly higher than the interest rate, at
Right.
Skowhegan, because the interest rate that you're getting right now, at Skowhegan on that CD, do you know how much it is?
It's 3.44%,
On the CD.
on the CD.
that's about the going rate if you check around and call around.
That's about what the,
Camden's 3.7.
Depending on the term.
If it's new money, yeah.
Yeah, if it's new money and depending on the term, it only lasts so many months and then you renew, and you're gonna renew at a rate like that.
Well, I thought the plan with Camden was that you were going to be putting money in, she was giving you a higher rate. Did she tell you what rate she was giving you at Camden?
Well, this is for the sweep account. They offered Skowhegan 1.85% because it was under $1 million. And they're offering, for that
Who is?
same
Camden?
3.25%, for the sweep account. But we didn't really talk, I guess, about the CD, which, you know,
Well, in that case, if the sweep account at Camden is 3.25 and the CD's interest is essentially the same thing, then you would want to leave the CD and avoid the penalty,
right,
because you're not going to make that back on the differential interest by
Right.
moving it over to Camden.
right. It wouldn't be any benefit to us
So
to do that.
regardless of what you do, you want to leave the CD at Skowhegan until it matures.
Yeah, okay,
Moving stuff over to, if you move stuff over to Camden, is because you're going to be getting essentially 2% interest more on your deposits. And the point of moving stuff over to Camden is that you're putting all of those deposits essentially into one account, and then we will account for the reserve interest and allocate the interest on an accounting fashion. You're not gonna necessarily have separate bank accounts, you're just gonna have basically
Right.
one
I
account.
have a feeling that if you went to Skowhegan Savings and told them that Camden National Bank was giving you this rate, that they would match it. I'm pretty positive that they would.
That may be, and if you did that and they matched it, then I would agree that you would just stay with Skowhegan Savings Bank because it's less of a hassle.
And Camden National Bank has its drawbacks, trust me. We're dealing with them up the road. They're not as,
I definitely agree with that.
They
There's
all
no point
do.
in changing a bank
Yeah.
account because of the hassle if you're gonna get a comparable interest rate, even if it's only, let's say, 0.25% less. But when it's 2% difference, that's too much of a difference, right?
okay, so,
So if you go back to Skowhegan and say, hey, you guys, I know you guys, said that you would do right by us, and then you came back with a 1.5, that ain't doing right by us, because Camden's gonna give us 2 percentage points higher, and they go, oh, well, it's because, we're a smaller bank and we have all these costs. And you go, well, I'm sorry, but we can't say that. That doesn't pass muster to our citizens, right? Our citizens don't care what your costs are. So we have to move our funds over to that bank. We'll keep our CD with you, but other than that, we gotta move our funds over to that bank.
Agreed.
okay, well,
And they may at that point, they may move it,
there's a lot more things that, you know, the ACH charges, the charge that we have for that that deposit
Yeah,
machine.
that's
I
the other
mean,
thing.
there's
So
all kinds of
Skowhegan
stuff.
is charging you guys crazy fees.
Yes,
It's crazy how much fees you guys are getting.
yes.
Now, I don't know what Camden said that they were gonna be charging you.
They
fees
said
on.
RDC, fee waived and scanner provided at no cost.
Yeah,
And ACH is $25 a month, includes 20 transactions for payroll, vendor payments, et cetera, and then the transactions are $35 each. And I know Angel told me, again, I kind of was ready to do this about a month ago, but, anyway.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've talked to Skowhegan, so.
yeah, I mean, other than that, I don't know if I can contribute to the conversation.
I think you've contributed enough.
I do
We can
too.
make a decision.
I've heard enough, Mark.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
We
Appreciate
appreciate you
it.
calling in after hours here.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
Okay, so, we've had the update, we'll go to citizens' comments. Chuck, you're on.
Just, on my tax bill, I noticed, look at my last one, I always got a $23,000 exemption on my assessed property, and I didn't get that this year in particular.
Personal property?
No, not property, on my assessed property, the buildings and everything. Last year, it was 20, I think it was a veterans and a homestead or something maybe on there.
Oh, you didn't get
Okay.
your homestead exemption?
But I didn't get either one of them this year. I think it might have been just a mistake.
It probably is, yes.
I
Can we,
was gonna call somebody like that, Sean, we'll see,
Yep.
Yeah, let me go get the commitment book, take a look at it. I think that usually.
I didn't bring a tax bill, but I can,
I'm sure that's what.
it's just, I think one might, it's like maybe 10 for veterans and 10 for homestead or something. It was just always on there, and Sharon picked it up, actually, it wasn't me. So,
Yeah.
it doesn't really change anything a hell of a lot. For the
Well, yeah,
property, I
$5 is a dollar.
probably not even that. It wasn't on there, I just. It would be on the big one, Charlie.
I got the,
The
this
big
is
one.
the commitment book. Okay, continue on.
Sharon should have cut that. It'd be on the one that, includes like the lodge and the base and the houses and shit. Well, like,
Would it be under, it's not under Chuck P. would it
actually, it's under, I put it in an LLC,
be? Okay,
Equipment Holdings.
sorry. Footman Holdings. Okay. If we've got several.
Yeah, they're all
Three
combined
bills.
under one bill.
And near as I can tell, like you said, whether, and I don't know which one you put your tax exemption, I mean, your, veterans and your homestead, but none of these have that.
Okay,
I
but
don't
that's
see-
where they all came
Do you-
under that one.
Which one, this one here?
Well, it came under one big bill, you know, all three of these are incorporated into one tax bill.
Oh, they
And
are?
I get it, yeah, it's like
Okay.
$15,000 or
Okay.
something.
Okay.
So it was, it was just always on that one, and they're all included this time, but I don't see the.
No, I don't see where there's been
You'll
any.
see it in last year.
Yeah, I don't see any exemptions.
Yeah.
Last year's, was it in under Footman Holdings, or was it in?
It was under my name,
Under
personally
your name,
alone,
okay.
but I'm the sole owner of that.
That may have been how it happened somehow, because the, Garnet and his crew go through all of those
I
deeds.
thought it had to be something
Go,
like that.
go through all of those deeds, so they've got it right that it's Footman, but somehow the exemptions didn't carry over, so I'll talk with Garnet about that. We'll get
Okay,
it sorted
I just
out.
wanna make sure I get it paid in time, so.
But these, all three of these came one big,
LLC,
one bill.
They came in one bill, it should be like 15,000.
345, I got a 15, a 345, and a
I thought it had to be like-
479.
Yeah, was it 15,000?
There's a 15,000.
And then, yeah, so three of those came out in one bill, then there was one separate one, I think the River Cottage or something separate there.
Okay.
You want me to make copies of those for you?
No, I can get them right off the, I can get it right
Oh,
off the computer. I actually learned how to print,
Okay.
individual tax
Okay.
bills now, so I
Okay.
can
No, no.
Let me
If
look
those
into
three were
it.
always incorporated, instead of giving me a tax bill for every building there, they put all that like physical base property.
Yeah.
I mean, Judy did that years ago.
Yeah.
She combined all
So-
that. and-
I'm reading that an LLC generally cannot claim a homestead
I
exemption.
was wondering about that. How about a veteran? Now, I'm the sole owner of the LLC, and it doesn't even have a checking account.
I can check with Garnet.
Check with Garnet on
That
It
was probably
says
why the
the
computer kicked it
LLC
out.
becomes the legal owner, not the individual who lives there. An
I-
LLC is separate legal entity from its owner.
Okay,
So I'm wondering if that's why.
well, I think that's a very good chance.
Yeah.
Ask
I can,
Garnet.
I can call Garnet too.
Yeah.
Thank you, Denise.
But I am,
But there's no.
Not a
but
tax
I'm the
expert
sole owner
by
of the
any means.
LLC. But maybe, because it's there, and you get certain protection on the LLC, you don't get the
homestead,
homestead.
yeah. We'll look into that though, for sure.
I'll just pay it like it is, and then let.
And then
We
we'll
can
have to
adjust
do
if
an
there's any change.
abatement, yeah,
I thought it might have something to do with that.
yeah, and then the.
And then I thought it might have been just because he missed it, because it went from that to that, but,
Yeah, I'll follow up with Garnet.
Yeah.
I think
No,
he'll be able
it's
to
not that
clarify
much.
for us. I'll put that on my little.
Anything else, Scott?
No, that's all.
That's all you got?
Are you gonna have it open the gym? Is that I don't give a shit one way or another,
This
but,
gym here,
yeah.
I don't see why we can't make that happen.
I was just gonna say, if you didn't open it, I would maybe put a bid in on the treadmill if you want to sell it. I'm gonna buy a treadmill.
Oh, I see.
That's all.
Yeah.
If you pay here, I'm gonna use it, if not, I'm gonna buy a
I
treadmill.
mean, I think we ought to make that happen, honestly.
Not to cost any expenses or anything, so.
No, we had other plans, but we're all tied up with everything else that's going on. I think we ought to make the opportunity to get.
We've
that
already
cleaned
had
up.
the release form reviewed. That was the last work that Tim
Yeah.
did for us. We thought it looked good, so.
Okay, I'll add that
I
as
think
old
the biggest
business.
thing is just come up with getting that signed, and then a process for keeping track of who has the keys and giving them out, that, how we want to do that.
Yeah.
You know,
I think we could make that happen.
I don't think there'd be much to it.
Has she been cleaning it?
She has been, but
She
Okay.
quit about,
I didn't even
3
hear that
weeks
she
ago.
quit until you guys said that.
Yeah, I didn't know she quit either.
But
yeah,
with that being
she
said,
texted.
I'm gonna add this to the old business
Justin.
about the gym,
okay.
and, we'll have that decision, we'll make that decision that we're gonna open it.
No big deal to me either way, but I was gonna use it if you did, but if you don't, I'm gonna get trouble.
Oh, no,
I gotta get one, I gotta lose some goddamn weight, that's the bottom line. And I'm gonna go out and walk at 18 degrees, I know I won't, I try it, I get to the berry store, I turn around and go back.
Understood.
I'm sorry to say that, I'm ashamed, but
No, don't be ashamed, it happens.
this weather's fine, but
I'm in the same boat.
I
I
gotta
think
get
it was
one.
open, Denise and I would come down here at 5 AM every day,
Mm-hmm.
to be honest with you. So, yes, I'll add that to tonight's, old business,
Okay.
and I'll take the initiative and I'll move that path forward. We should have it open by sometime, but probably the end of the couple weeks.
Can we get a doggy treadmill?
All right, so citizens' comments, anything else?
No, I don't.
Okay. All right, we'll move back to the, number 3, the acceptance of the,
Board of Assessors.
9/16/25 Board of Assessors meeting and the 9/5 special town meeting, 05, 09, and 04.
Yeah, I think I get that one.
Yeah, that's
That
fine.
all research.
All right,
Yeah,
so,
and then I'm like,
Okay, so, the only thing I did with the special town meeting, Justin wanted that paragraph that was the revised, proposal or whatever, warrant article, and I put that in the minutes. So
Okay.
That's what I did.
Right, because he, right,
Because he
revised it from what
revised
was
it,
the original.
The
right.
amended article.
Right.
Yeah, so the amended article is now in there.
okay,
That was the change.
okay. I'll make a motion, we, accept both, assessors meeting and special town meetings as written.
I second.
All in favor? Okay. All right, we'll move on to the tax collector's report.
Tax collector's report, tax bills did go out, before I left for vacation around the 10th or 11th. And we have, started to receive some payments, but I have not been here, so I have not recorded them yet, but we do have probably 20 plus payments already.
I'm curious, haven't seen any return to senders yet?
No, but somebody asked me about that.
Oh, we will, but I've already
Somebody-
had to deal with one, and it was my fault partially because with the database,
Yeah.
so.
Was it you that asked me if something had been returned? No, I had an email.
Well, what happened is the tax bill for Audrey Demko's old place, which Ernie always owned, had, Hollybrook Holdings' name on it, but still had his address. So he got it over in Livermore,
No.
addressed to Hollybrook Holdings at his address.
Yeah.
And what that is, because that occurred in March, so what that is me not understanding the database and not changing the address, you know what I mean?
I do.
Which I've done, but the problem is that you can't change this year's tax bill, because it's already been processed, you know what I mean? But if you go in now and look at that property, it's Hollybrook Holdings, and it's a 1609, you know, US 201. So there'll be a few of those.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm
No.
expecting another one too, I just can't find the email.
And I've had to answer
Oh, right here.
4 or 5 emails from credit unions and banks looking for the bill. And unfortunately, we have all new equipment, was nice, but I don't know how to work a scanner. But they've been able to just, with my email coming from the office, that I say, this is what it is. And, you know, after November 28th, the interest, and so they're fine with that. But I think theoretically, it goes to the property owners, and they're supposed to forward it to whoever, you know, is gonna pay it, but they don't always do it.
Well, not necessarily, I thought that as well in the beginning, but a copy is supposed to go to both.
To both.
Oh, I haven't had any, none of the bills say the mortgage companies on them.
No,
Not even, really?
no.
I was always told,
I think there's a button you can
I
click.
think there might be, but I
So-
don't think the data
Well,
for
that's
the
good to know,
mortgage
because I haven't
company.
sent mine to Kuso, then, okay.
Yep, I think
We
I've
may
seen
need
that button
to add
to
that
click.
next year so that
Yes.
each gets a bill.
You
And it's
click-
already
The
doing-
past administration, it did go to the banks,
In addition to the,
in addition
Yeah.
to the property owners.
And
I
I've
don't think that would
noticed
be
that-
that difficult
Because
to do.
No.
it shouldn't be, it should be all automated.
When you get ready to send the bills, there's a little check-off box that says send to mortgage company.
Yeah. But I'm not sure if the mortgage company's data is in the database, that would be.
It should be, I know,
Yeah.
they should be, I know mine is, or used to be, that's good to know, cause I gotta send mine off, and I used to send it manually, and then I was told by the prior administration that, they sent one there anyways.
Right.
Well,
That is a good-
I've been taking care of it.
Yeah, no
because
worries.
I
I'm
couldn't,
just
you know what I mean,
Mentioning
so,
it, yep, so we could check that on, the trio part of it,
Hold it for next year.
okay?
What will we do for this year for those who don't know that it's not being sent to their?
Could post it on the website into a clerical area, or,
What do you mean?
I feel mortgage companies are looking for those bills, and if they don't get them, they're gonna call.
That's what's been
Right,
happening.
because the
Yes.
escrow account, yeah.
We'll send an email, that's what's been happening.
And they know that we sent our bills out?
Yeah.
Well, they're gonna ask, they're gonna, they
And
know
wanna
they're
know what
due.
the amount is, and I tell them.
Okay.
And I'd fax them the bill, except they don't, I'd scan them and send them the bill, except they don't know how to use the scanner now. So, but they've been fine, they said if it's attached to an email with my name, and I have that figure is solid, of course, they double check all of the figures and the lot number and the account number and all that stuff, so anyway.
Okay.
It's just part of it, but hopefully we can avoid that next year by getting
Yes.
that. But I wouldn't wanna make certain that the two, the mortgage holder and that property were linked, you know what I mean? And that's a level of the database that I'm not familiar with.
Right. Okay, anything else with the tax collector report?
Nope.
Make a motion to accept the tax collector's report.
Second?
All in favor? Treasurer's report.
Did you wanna start, Denise, while I just get to the scouting and savings, or? Oops.
Do we have the warrant that needs to be signed?
Yes, actually, there's 3 warrants there, so. That's a good thing to do while I'm trying to do this, okay, so.
We do make pretty good money on excise tax, don't we? We're talking like a politician on a.
Yes, we do.
But
Yeah,
that's
the cost of vehicles right now are through the roof. Crazy when you come to register a car and you're paying $1,800 excise tax.
Okay, these are ones that are already done.
Oh, you're saying that
Because
was
they're the
you.
state,
Not you.
Okay, while you guys are while you are signing that, I'll, read off the balances here. So annual road maintenance, $36,145.58. Cemetery account is $16,891.07. CFWF closure account is $27,375.42. Moxie Dam Long Range account, $102,875.42. New school bus account, $70,777.60. Non-traditional school is $7,662 even. Long range account, road account long range, $146,372.33. The scholarship fund is $61,267.81. Student activities is $72.55. Town checking is $166,947.06, and then the special education CD is $32,321.31. So, I don't know if now is the time that you wanted to talk more about the banking and going to, Camden, or, we have this presentation that Camden sent to us.
Let's finish this budget stuff first.
Okay,
I have actually a couple questions, and I haven't seen the warrant yet on that, maybe you can tell me right off. The ditching and stuff that Andy submitted the bills for, those got paid, correct?
they're in
They're in
there.
here. I just wanna make sure that that came out of the,
I have not transferred the money yet.
Okay.
Because it hasn't been paid, so I haven't
Okay.
transferred the money. I did transfer the money from, last month's, we had some road striping, and that has been transferred from the long range to town checking.
so you're going, there should be 2 accounts, one's the long range and one's the maintenance account. for the
It's
road.
the maintenance, right,
Okay.
so I did it from
We
the
don't wanna do the long range,
maintenance,
we wanna
yeah,
do the maintenance
right,
account.
right.
And that's
So
what I
that
wanna
is
make
the
sure that, because we have to.
Annual road maintenance, yes,
Annual
so,
road maintenance.
right, so,
At some point, I gotta respond to the state letting him know that, maybe you could document that for me.
On
But this-
October first, I transferred $2,997.96, yeah.
96 cents, 96?
96 cents, that was on October first, and I
Okay.
can print out,
And that was a striping?
that was for the
And then
striping.
Andy will be, he's on here, $3,150.
So I talked to Mark about doing the reconciliation, because there's a plus and a minus and whatever that you're supposed to do in Trio, which I have not done, but I did the banking part of it, so
Yeah.
I emailed him, we went over a whole bunch of things, so I don't know if that's part of what he reconciled or not.
Okay.
Um,
So they just send us something that this money has to be used and I have to justify that it went
Local
into
road assistance.
the local road assistance account.
Do
We
you
get-
want me to, I could photocopy the transfer and then also the bill for the striping, and then Andy's bill.
I don't know if I need that, much
Okay.
documentation, I think I just need the figures and then,
Okay,
because it asks on the application, or
okay,
what it was used for, so if I have it, I can use that and plug that into their
Yep.
application.
okay.
So,
So Andy's will be, probably tomorrow when I actually
that's fine.
cut the check, I will transfer that money then.
So part of that 3,000 is not the county, so that was broken up into two, did we send the county their bill? Or was that a total for the whole job? Cause that should have been broken up into the Forks and the
The
county,
striping?
not the striping, Andy's,
Oh.
Andy's ditching.
Andy's bill is right in front of you,
Okay, so that's what
I mean, that would be an Andy Webb,
it was supposed to be broken down, that's why I was asking the question.
yeah, I have
Okay.
no idea what the overall cost would have been, and,
Well, that
right,
needs to be,
The invoice is in there, so I don't know if
once
that
I'll look at
includes
the
both.
invoice, and we need to forward, if we're paying the whole thing, we need to forward a bill to the county.
so we need to find out from Andy if that's.
If it's
for the
not separated,
entire
yes.
job. Yeah, right, we don't, but I don't know if it says the Forks portion of ditching, I'm not sure how, I just put it on the warrant.
All I see is this, I will ask him.
There are some tags in there that need signatures, I put them on the warrant
Okay.
without any signatures because I had to.
Okay,
So there's, the ones that have little stickers on them just need to be signed.
Okay. All right. I will ask him, it's not separated there, okay.
does it have all of them in there, didn't you do 25 or something you said?
What's that?
Does it have 25 culverts here, does it have a number
It
or?
doesn't, it just says ditching, culvert maintenance, low bore truck, traffic control excavator, it doesn't give a breakdown, so.
Okay,
It's an easy phone call, though, we can
Yeah.
find out.
you'll follow up on that, Dave?
I will follow up on that over the meetings. We actually talked just before, and he was supposed to send it, at first, we were gonna send it, split it and send it to both places, and
Oh, but, okay, so.
so I don't know
Okay.
what he did.
they're on top of it, yeah.
Like, I will not have to go
Make
back.
sure you see what you're signing.
I am.
I wouldn't be able to say that except I'm married to it.
That's why she's laughing.
Mr. Magoo over here.
There you go.
Awesome. You guys signed the preview page? Perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, I'd like to at least propose that we order Trio now, BMV module now. We're gonna start getting our taxes in. I don't think that they'll bill us until, but I think we should start setting up the installation, the training, all of that, and until, that's gonna take time to coordinate all of that. And I think it's roughly around $10,000, which we raised, with our town,
The town meeting.
at the town warrant. So,
How long, I guess, well, our tax bills are due by the end of November, correct?
Yep.
So, I guess if you could wait till the billing cycle of after November 1st to do this,
okay,
that would be, I think, that way they would bill us by the end of November. We'd have our tax base coming in in December, but if we do it in October, I'm afraid that we won't have that income,
Yeah.
not quite there.
okay.
So,
So-
I would accept that and say yes, and vote for
I
it.
mean, we could even wait until next month's meeting.
Nope, I think we
So,
could do it.
November 1st?
I think if you did it after November 1st, I think that would be adequate, because our funds will be here by the end of the month and the bills will be coming in.
Right.
But, you know,
We just don't wanna get the bill before we have the money to pay.
Right,
correct.
Okay, does that require a motion since we're
I think it's
spending
already
money?
been approved in the book, right?
Yeah, that was approved by the town, so it doesn't,
Well, except for that we're,
okay, I'll make a motion that, after November 1st, Susan will start the BMV
Initiate
year.
the BMV module
Exciting.
inclusion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Sorry.
I do wanna do the training with you though.
oh, of course.
I wanna be
Is
able
there
to
any time that you
bring it to
are,
my town.
is there any time that you, are not available, Denise?
At the moment, no, I'm pretty flexible.
Anything else, Susan?
Yes, sorry, let's see.
No, don't apologize, I mean, don't hurry.
So, as you know, if you've been in that office, we have 2 new printers, we have this little laptop, the TV, which I couldn't figure out, because I was cleaning right up until, the beginning of this meeting, so I wasn't able to figure that out, but there's a lot of, like Charlie said, we've gotta learn how to scan in there, anyway, I submitted so we got a bill from Technology Solutions of Maine, and I believe that was last month's bill, it might be in this warrant, but, it was for the equipment, and so I submitted that to SEDC, and they have not reimbursed us yet, but that is going to be a reimbursed,
Excellent.
charge, so I just wanted to let you know that I've already provided everything that they needed for documentation.
And that reimbursement goes into Trio as well, so we can see that in the budget.
Yes, it will,
Okay.
yep. Let's see. Tomorrow, I don't know if this should be maybe under the clerk's report, tomorrow after BMV, I found some of those bombs for bugs.
Yep.
I'm gonna do those when I leave the office
That
tomorrow.
doesn't need a motion.
No, but I don't want anyone to come in here,
Right,
so.
oh, I see, okay, yeah.
I want.
Yes.
to-
Tomorrow night.
It's
After
just,
Tomorrow-
your BB
tomorrow
hours,
night.
your
it
boss-
just kills them all, right? So
Yes,
that they-
it kills the ones that are alive
So
today.
I would recommend that, before you leave, just put a note on the door,
Yes, good idea.
that, you know,
Cause,
Caution.
so Justin, cause he's not here, he
Right.
might,
No, he's coming in tomorrow to get his birth certificate.
okay, so
so you can tell them, but still, I would leave a
Yeah.
note on the door that is.
I will, I
Just,
think that's, I'm wondering, cause I opened these windows, in November, or whatever, sometime this past year. And I'm wondering if that's how if
they do,
they need to be snugged up and locked.
they still get in.
I think those windows are not very.
We should, and I've done it in the past, on years like this, and you spray all your windows with a spray, whatever it is,
I mean, yeah, we,
on
you hear
something.
buzzing.
All your doors, all your windows, and when a year like this, it'll take 2 years for this stuff to go away, it usually comes in a 2-year cycle, so we're not out of the woods, but we should spray it maybe now, or in the spring, or at least in the springs, to keep them, so they'll be dead in the spring.
so we don't have anything, so,
It's an
So-
ortho, I'll get the name of it, I use it at my place.
okay.
It's an ortho something, I can't remember, but.
I know that there's some.
And you just go around the threshold of each one and.
Best stuff I ever saw, I don't think they sell it anymore, Amway used to sell it, it's called Endabug.
Well, there's also,
Probably should
like,
pass it in.
Yeah,
there's also
maybe.
essential oils like peppermint, citronella,
Yeah,
there's
that
other,
is a repellent, it's not, this stuff will kill the larvae, it'll kill the eggs, so they don't come back the next day, the next year. I would recommend too, when you're talking about the bombing, make sure that the gym's open, so we can make sure the gym gets bombed as well.
okay, there was like 3 in that box, and I'll
Yeah.
figure out where to
1,
put
2,
them.
and 3, and they
So
cover a
don't
lot.
come in and work out just yet.
Well,
Right, I'll
Cold
put
weather
it,
is when I make my move.
Yeah.
okay, I'll put a sign on
I
that
shouldn't even
door as
mention it,
well,
but-
just in case.
He was on the
Because-
treadmill and dropped dead. Oh,
Okay, so we
Done.
probably, maybe,
Bug be
because
gone.
that would be it then for the,
clerk's report,
no, for the treasurer's
Okay.
report, we should.
I'll make a motion, we accept the treasurer's report,
Second,
all in favor?
Okay, and then the clerk's report, as I mentioned, the birth certificate, I have 1 absentee ballot request, I don't know, cleaning, are you gonna talk about that in your business?
I was going with the business.
Okay, all right, and is it okay for me to submit my hours for cleaning, for today?
100%.
Absolutely. We have,
You're on the payroll, you did a great job, it needs to be clean.
mhm.
Yeah, okay,
It's sanitary,
there's something on the, spreadsheet for that, isn't there, hours, just like miscellaneous hours or something?
think
I'll
so.
look at that.
Unfortunately, I already did the payroll for this
no,
pay
that's
period.
fine,
Is
I
that
don't,
okay?
it's fine.
Okay,
100%. There's equipment that has been, was removed from the main office. As you can see, it's all over the counter. Technology Solutions of Maine did say that they would come in and pick it up and reuse it. There's a place in Waterville that is Give IT, Get IT. So there's that huge copying machine.
Yep.
There's 2 printers, there's, I think a monitor, there's miscellaneous this, that, and the other thing.
Okay.
I don't know, Justin mentioned he might want something.
Laser printer, I think,
So,
but that's one
I
I
that
wouldn't
splotches,
mind having a printer.
that splotches red. but-
So,
the only concern I have with them coming to get anything, or any of that stuff going anywhere, if there's any memory cards in there, they need to be wiped out. You
I
know,
don't know that, is there memory cards?
I
in a
don't know, I
printer?
don't know what else is in there, sometimes, some printer scanners will have a memory of email addresses and all that type of stuff. I don't know, you'd have to look
They
at
wouldn't
it.
have probably know.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously, I don't know how you wanna deal with it, but I would just assume that it's not in that room.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
just saying.
So tell them to come get it, and if Justin or Denise want something, they better take it before they come and get it.
Okay,
Yeah, that's what I make a motion,
We have
I
that
second.
they come and get it.
All in favor?
okay, okay, wait a second, okay, I'll, okay.
Okay,
Especially
yes,
that
that's a
copy.
great idea, have them come get it, they can refurbish it, send it out, like I said, just,
And just make sure that the memory is
Make sure
cleaned
that
out
it's-
of it.
right,
Okay.
cause that would
You
be,
can probably talk with them about it.
No, they wouldn't be all over that for sure. Okay.
right, but you, it's a privacy thing, you know.
Yes, of course, yeah. I believe that might be the conclusion of my report.
Nice, I make a motion, we accept the clerk's report.
My second.
All in favor? All right, we'll go to old business. I'll start with old business, you looked at me. We'll talk about the gym. Let's get the gym going, I'll take the initiative. Once it's bombed in there, we'll get it cleaned up. I just need to, we'll have to have, a location to know where the liability forms are, the keys are, and a sign off or a folder that we can collectively put whoever's taking the gym membership, or, you know, the liability forms. Do we have keys made up already?
I believe somewhere, right?
I believe we do.
Yes, they're in the other room now.
There's an abundance of them?
I wouldn't say in abundance, but there's some, and I will look, I'll get back to you, and tomorrow I'll look
Okay,
in
while
there.
you're here, that'd be great.
Yeah,
I guess the question I have with this, and there may be folks that have, you know, used it in the past, probably signed the liability form in the past, may even have a key. Are they gonna be, like, plugged right back in, or are we gonna kinda start fresh here?
I would
think we
say,
should sign new liabilities.
I agree with Denise, and that's what I'm gonna recommend, and I think anybody that has a key, and it's public, they need to have, sign a new liability form,
Right.
updated form, to use the gym.
And there'll be a sign in and a sign out, I guess. I don't know how, if somebody that has an old key came in and just used it.
Right.
I mean,
It's gonna be hard to police in that aspect,
right, but
okay?
I don't think it'd be a huge deal, but I mean, it may happen.
Right.
So,
I understand that, but we'll put a posting, we can put a posting on the door saying, please sign a new updated liability form before using the equipment, and so forth and so forth. Along with that, what's the feeling on, the gym member or the resident bringing a buddy, if you will? I
That's
know
always been allowed.
it has been allowed? Oh, okay, I
They have
wasn't
to
sure.
sign a waiver too.
The button, right, whoever it is
Yeah.
has to
But
sign
they
it.
have to accompany,
Yes.
okay,
Be accompanied by,
a
resident.
resident,
okay.
okay. Do we, want to, or should we bring this to the public later, or to allow, like, say, West Forks residents or Caratunk residents to also use this facility? Just the residents, not the public, but just the residents.
I think if we start, as much as I'd like to see really the entire community take advantage of it, I think there are some financial and some liability issues there that I'm not, you know, I think we went over this before, I can't remember if I addressed it with
Okay.
Woodcock or not, you know what I mean, about.
we
of the
did talk
community.
about it, but I don't think we.
But I think part of it is too, is that the fact of the matter is that you know, it wasn't, I mean, it might have been us, I've owned property quite a while, we foot the bill for all of that equipment in there.
Right.
And it's gonna be like, and they didn't pay anything, so it's gonna be maybe an agreement between, like an interlocal agreement between the towns.
Oh, I see,
You know,
town government to see if something.
And they'll pay so much a year to allow their residents to come
okay.
in here and use it, something
Okay.
like that.
That's a great idea, we'll table that part of it, and we'll talk about that at our next meeting, we'll come up with a better plan to address that, and assign somebody to reach out to the other communities to see if that's what we're all, favor for.
I think it's an awesome idea, I think it's unfortunate.
I mean, I don't think you're gonna see there's not gonna be 30 people lined up out there, but there is a few people out there that I know that,
Right,
you know, would like to come walk on a treadmill or do whatever, I mean, you know, so.
No,
All right.
but I think that would.
I mean, we gotta figure out liability for that.
We have updated liability forms, correct? Oh,
Right.
you're talking about the other stuff?
I'm talking about legal.
For the other communities, or just,
Yes,
okay,
Why
so,
would it matter
I don't
if
think the
someone from out
liability
of
form
town?
would
Let's-
matter, I think
let's-
it's more of a cost thing. That you-
let's talk about that.
We pay the heat, we pay for the equipment, and
I
it's gonna
agree.
be like, you know.
Let's talk about that at the next meeting,
Okay.
we'll put that on the agenda for the next meeting. For today, we'll get this gym open for our residents, this month. With it, y'all get it? And I just need to know where the liability forms are. Are we gonna all be able to
I'm gonna say that that's a motion, you're making a motion to open the gym,
I will, but there's a few things I wanna discuss before I make that motion.
okay?
Are we gonna all be able to, or all willing to, issue the key and liabilities, or are we gonna have a designated person that they'll have to see, a David Rancourt or a Charlie or a Justin, or a Susan, or?
Come in on Wednesday and sign it in front of the clerk and get a key.
Sounds like a great idea. Okay,
We'll have to see how, if we have enough keys, we may need to have more made.
that's fine.
Yeah.
I think
And maybe we charge for a key, I mean, maybe there's a,
we'll talk, not for residents, but.
no, not for residents, but
Let's
for,
talk about the non-residents later.
right, we're gonna
Right?
do that,
So let's stick
okay?
with just today.
Yep,
Okay, so that's a great
One step at a
idea.
time.
Is there a treadmill in there?
yes,
Yeah,
I'm talking about a treadmill.
I couldn't see it under all the flies.
oh gosh, it is, no, it was like,
No.
that
Wait a
was
minute,
like
wait a minute.
in here.
I said that's just.
No, that's how it was in
I
here.
know, right?
That's why yesterday when I came in here to register, Scarlett's car, I was like, I'm so sorry.
Okay,
Okay,
so liability key,
There's no liability forms in there.
nope, we have the new one, right?
I do have.
Okay, so
I've got-
liability
I've got
form,
folders
the
and
keys,
folders full of
And we're gonna,
paperwork.
if you wanna use the gym, we're gonna see the clerk on Wednesdays, to
Sign the liability.
sign that liability, and have a key issued, and we'll make a folder that we can keep
yes.
of who has it.
Yep.
Okay, great. I'll make a motion that we open the gym to the folks' residents this month. All in favor, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? All right, now we have a plan.
Yay. Yes.
All right. Any other old business?
Yes,
What about
actually,
cleaning person, are we gonna try to
Well,
find?
That's
hang on.
new.
Oh, that's new?
so old
Hang on.
business,
We're still working on old business.
I thought that was old business, sorry.
old business is the door lock.
Okay,
I have been, tonight, it was 3 or 4 times, I did somehow, I think you can use a key.
Mhm.
Have you tried using the key?
Yes,
As opposed to the code and it
yes,
works?
yep,
Okay, so I think it just felt like it was spinning to me, but I think
yeah,
it was.
it does not work all the time.
so.
No, I know, but I'm talking about the key.
Yes, that does too, you have to kinda play with it.
So
I know,
I'm like,
All right, so we need to have the door lock replaced.
yes,
yes, thank
Simple,
you.
okay.
who does that?
I think you order one on Amazon and we replace it. I mean, it can't be that hard.
Who's we? I can order
Dave.
it.
You order it, I'll install
It's
it.
gotta be the exact same thing though, I mean, so it fits in the door.
Right,
and all
you
that,
gotta make
so.
sure it's the
I
same.
do have the owner's manual or whatever.
Okay. If you order it, I'll install
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
it. Okay.
Okay. Is that a
I
motion?
think me and her are the only ones that have
No, it happens to
problems.
me, it doesn't
No.
bother me a bit, I just sit there until it works.
No,
That's 'cause
but
we're
I
patient.
It always does.
Last night it was pouring buckets, and I was trying to lock it
Yep.
up, and I could not lock it up.
That's why
No, I
we,
came by to drop your
Susan,
receipt off
We're
and I
gonna get
couldn't
a
get
new
in,
one.
so I'm like.
Susan, that's why boys wear hoodies.
I had a hood on.
Okay.
So, you just,
If you order it, I'll install
Okay, do
Okay.
we need, is that a motion? or
I don't
does
think
it-
we need a
does it-
motion
okay,
to-
Fine,
it. Maintenance to the building.
okay,
Any other new old business?
I'm glad I thought of that though.
Nope. All right, we'll move on to, new business.
Now the cleaning.
Okay, Charlie, would you like to start on new business?
well, as we all know now, Tabitha, has resigned. Susan has been cleaning it
No, it's just once.
just once, but you've been vacuuming the bugs and stuff like that. I met, this person actually at Skowhegan Savings Bank, and she owns Tremblay Cleaning Services, Sandra Tremblay. She's down in, Bingham, and she comes up here pretty often. She does, what do they call that, the River House?
Yep.
The River House,
Or,
she does
yeah.
Tom Coleman's house, I think she does Susie's. What she told me, she would be able to come, if, right now, the way her schedule is, would be able to come once a month, on the third Monday, which is before our meeting, which is a good schedule. She thinks, at that frequency, it'd probably take her 3 to 4 hours, to clean everything. The only caveat with this is that she charges $25 an hour, and I believe we budgeted $20 an hour. I mean, that's what's in our salaries. I don't know how these type of things are managed in a town like this.
Just get my name for the minutes.
You know what I mean? In other words, I mean, we could
Well,
try to find somebody local again, to come in and
well,
do it.
I would have to dare say that the amount of weeks or months that we haven't paid somebody, if we paid her 25 between now and the end of the fiscal year, that it would, still not meet the
I
money
would
that we
agree, that's what I was
allotted.
saying.
And then the next budget, we would have to increase it if she continues. But we, struggle to find somebody to do this job, so,
I would agree, that's what I was thinking, given the infrequency that it's been done and how little we've probably spent on
And
the
she'd have to
overall
include the
budget.
gym,
yes.
yeah.
And yeah, in 3 to 4 hours is what she thought,
Yeah.
so,
I'd make a motion that we hire and accept it.
my second.
All in favor?
Good, I'll give her a ring up. She seemed like a very nice, energetic, but
Yep.
local
Okay.
girl.
Any other new business? I have 2 items. We have a letter from the, Gallon Coal Family Foundation, and it says, "Dear municipal leader, nearly 20 years ago, the Gallon Coal Family Foundation sponsored a program to assist municipalities across Maine with the purchase of American flags. We are proud to offer this initiative again, designed to promote patriotism and community spirit with flags to be displayed in 2026 in honor of our nation's 250th anniversary. To support this effort, the Cola Foundation has partnered with the World of Flags USA, located in Bangor, Maine, to provide a complete flag kit. Each kit includes one sewn 3x5 nylon American flag with embroidered stars, a 6-foot spinning flagpole, a durable mounting bracket, and so forth.
For how much?
Hang on, I was gonna get to it. So it has an order form. Each expected cost, excluding shipping, is $60 per kit. Is that something we want to entertain? We already have a flagpole. We buy our own flags. It's up to the board to decide on this, and that's why it's new business.
I think right now, I mean, we bought all new flags last year.
We did.
And
to note, we didn't do this last year either when we had this.
And what I really want, and I've gotta get a count on them, is the little ones with I think we have enough for that have to be put out, before Veterans Day.
Yep.
I went through all those.
Right.
Threw a bunch of the old ones away, you're not supposed to use ones that are in bad condition.
Pattern flags.
And I've got a bunch of them somewhere in here, I might have put them upstairs, I don't know, but I think we're in pretty good shape in the
Okay.
flag department. That one's new,
Okay.
the dam's new.
Yep.
That's the only 2 we have, isn't it?
That is correct. All right, so with that said, we will not pursue that. My other item is as new business. I've briefed this, found it in my mailbox. It's to the chair of Somerset County Republican Committee. It's a letter of objection to opening the Lake Moxie Road to ATV, UTV traffic from Matthew Craigmore, Melanie, McCaddingaway, resident, property owner, and the Forks Plantation. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. My question to is, there are a couple of things that pop out that are inaccuracies, and I wonder, do we write a response to this? It wasn't addressed to us, it was just
Who was it addressed to?
It was addressed to the chair of the Somerset County Republican Committee. Yeah,
I mean, the chair of the Republican,
How did you get hold of it?
it was in my memos.
He came in here and.
You're the chair?
No,
No,
he
but
came
it
in
was,
and gave
I
it to
think
me.
it's for, reference, basically, to
Oh,
let us know,
okay.
let the body know that they submitted a letter of objection
Gotcha.
to it. I just found a couple, just briefly reading, there was a couple inaccuracies about, one was, the biggest one is, allowing non-residents to vote. I mean, that's not a true,
We
everybody
allowed
that,
them to speak, but not to vote.
that is correct. That everybody that voted was registered. I know that for a fact, because we checked, and made sure of that. So I just don't know whether we respond to this or not, or,
well, this, it's disappointing that something like that would be sent with inaccuracies, but the chair of the Republican Committee of the Somerset County, who is that? And what kind of authority, what kind of standing do they have anywhere? I mean, I'm just saying, to me, it's like, you might as well send it to Santa Claus.
yeah, as a respect though, come on.
Who is it addressed to?
The chair of the Somerset County Republican Committee.
I think probably we have to respond because, it is inaccurate.
Okay, So-
Just to correct the inaccuracies.
all right. I will write a letter to the, a response into the corrections of what I found in this, just of the inaccuracies to the chair, just to follow up.
Yeah,
What
I
was
think
the
that's-
other one?
I got it up written down, hang on. I mean, I only glanced through it, there might be more, there might be, less.
Yeah,
And you'll send it to the Somerset?
I will
Republican.
CC and whoever, the lack of review and assessment. I mean, that's part of the whole trial period for 2026 was to assess the whole situation. So that's part of it as well. I mean, that was the whole part of having the special meeting and allowing this as a one-year trial period to collect the data and assess the whole situation. So it was just, I respect the fact that they sent it. I respect the fact how they feel. But also, I had 5 emails from people that live on the Lake Moxie Road that came to the fore in support of it. So, that's, the majority spoke, it is what it is, whether we all like it or whether we all don't, it's the democracy. So, with that said, I will draft up a response and submit it, to follow up that. Any other new business?
I do not have any.
Okay? Make a motion to adjourn at
Second,
All right.
19:13.
not too bad.
All in favor? Perfect. Bruins round.
I'll get back to you, Chuck, on that question you have.
Yeah.
Shouldn't take too long. I'll be in here tomorrow.
And we'll have that fired up and cleaned up for you as soon as snow flies.
Don't have to put a real priority on that.
No, trust me.
I was thinking like by December or something, just when it got cold out.
Yeah.
It's not business, so I think I can talk about it, but with these tax maps,
Yeah,
what has been pretty interesting, there's a piece of land down here that CMP owns, that it's along between the river and 201.
yes,
Okay, and so Billy Glad, who's got that little old schoolhouse
yeah,
in there, he's got 1.25 acres that he leases from CMP.
yeah,
And then Northern Outdoors, as River Wild leases the other strip, okay? And she needs a deed to that. Do you know what it's like trying to find a deed for a CMP piece of property up here?
Oh
and
my
how
God,
many
many
property
millions of
They bought
property.
and sold and,
do you know, so, let
I'm
me,
like,
let
really?
me, let me tell you how sympathized I am with you right now. Wait till you call the state of Maine's Department of Assessors. That's where I got all of last year, just trying to, and found out that God's country was still, that the property taxes were still paid by CMP.
I'm like, I go into the CMP, and the registry of deeds, it's like
No.
30 pages, there's hundreds of
You
real
gotta
estate
call,
transactions.
you gotta call the assessors and talk to an assessor and have her help you.
It's like,
It'll
I'll
take
be here
time,
for hours looking at these.
it'll take time.